Please welcome to the stage Vice President of Worldwide Public Sector, Amazon Web Services, Max Peterson.
Hello. How's everybody doing? Wow, it's great to be here today and be back in person again and see so many people face to face. We're also grateful for all of those people who are joining us virtually. We hope you have a good experience. My name's Max Peterson, and I'm honored to be able to lead the AWS Worldwide Public Sector, where we help all of our customers, from education to government to healthcare to not-for-profits to aerospace and satellite, be able to deliver to the best of their mission ability on the AWS cloud. This is our 12th DC Summit, and as a person who's been here for 11 of them, it's just really phenomenal to see how many people are back learning, involved in activities, doing hands-on workshops, going to the chalk talks. There's literally something for everybody here today, with over 300 sessions spread across the 3 days of the summit here. And we had a great pre-day, so I hope all of the 5,000 or so people that joined us for the first day are back again, and that everybody's here to learn, network, deepen your skills, and most importantly, make a big difference in the world to all of the people that we serve. I want to start by thanking our sponsors who make this event possible for us, and a special thank you out to our global summit sponsors, Intel, VMware, Datadog, Veeam, New Relic, and Palo Alto. It wouldn't be complete, however, without the full AWS partner community here. And so I also want to make sure that I thank our platinum, our gold sponsors, silver sponsors. You should stop by the expo hall. They have some great offerings that help you speed up your value, your time to value on the AWS cloud, and help you realize the mission outcomes that are important to the people you serve. And finally, I want to thank all of our bronze, exhibitor, and especially our small business sponsors, and encourage you to visit them as well in our partner expo hall. I'm actually thrilled to be able to speak today about the public sector's digital transformation, because it's been an amazing 2 years through very difficult times. And we want to celebrate the pioneers who are breaking barriers and who are driving change. Change is not easy. Over the next 60 minutes or so, I'll ask 3 other customers to join us here on stage and share stories of how they're leveraging the cloud to get the agility, the resilience, and the security needed to keep pushing the boundaries, hopefully helping spark ideas for everybody here today and how you can drive innovation and how you can reimagine delivery for your constituents. Before diving in, though, I want to acknowledge and reflect on the difficulties of the past few years. It continues to be a challenging time as we keep navigating the pandemic and as we also have to work through other tragic events around the world. I hope you and your families remain safe and continue to do well. Like many of us, we're watching the situation in Ukraine right now with concern and with heavy hearts, but importantly, we're helping where we can. This is the largest humanitarian crisis since World War II in Europe, and coming together to provide support is critical. As part of Amazon, we're helping by donating to organizations on the ground, and we're continuing to work with our partners, our employees, and our NGOs to make sure we can do whatever is possible in relief efforts. One example is that we're working with Ukraine's largest distance learning company, Optima, to help them scale up their solution and support thousands of displaced students who now need access to basic education. Our team is also working with Ukrainian customers and partners to make sure that they keep their applications and their data secure and protected. Throughout these difficult times, our customers across the public sector have been quick to respond and to innovate with the cloud, in fact, saving lives, delivering critical citizen services, and supporting better learner outcomes, ultimately changing the way that we engage as a society, that we educate, and that we do business for good. So before I go any further, I just want to say thank you to everybody here who helped deliver for your students or your citizens or your constituents or less advantaged around the world. The dedication to your communities and all of these end customers is what AWS is all about. So thank you very much, everybody. In fact, I want to give you a round of applause. By the way, it's okay to clap in person. I know it feels awkward on a Zoom call, but here we're in person. Go ahead and clap. Many of you know that AWS was formed in 2006, and we established our public sector business in 2010 with a focus on driving disruptive innovation and supporting our customers to make the world a better and a safer place. Customer-centric innovation has been a leading principle for us since the very start. 90% of all of the services that we deliver come directly from listening to customers and delivering on the things that they need. The other 10% are the ones where we try and look around corners for customers and understand what you might need based upon the way that you're working today, and we try to invent on your behalf. Today, millions of customers trust AWS to improve their security posture, become more agile, and lower costs. Enterprises, small businesses, startups, almost every possible spectrum across the business segment are using AWS. And in the public sector alone, tens of thousands of customers, ranging from national government agencies to universities and major healthcare providers, also count on AWS to support their mission-critical systems. Our customers are delighted to find that AWS offers over 200 services, significantly more than any other cloud provider. And that's what helps them innovate. That's what makes them more flexible, more agile when they're using the AWS cloud. And you'll hear some stories of this today. And we're not slowing down. Because we listen and we continue to innovate on your behalf, I'm excited with a couple of the announcements that we're going to do that'll let you still go further and faster. To better support our customers, we've continued to grow our public sector team. Many of them are here with us today. Please make sure that you step up and you ask your AWS representative for any help they can give you during the course of the next 2 days. And we also have an enormous partner network. Over 100,000 partners around the world that are joined with us in mutual efforts to support customers all over the world. And these partners continue to help speed and innovation by using things like the AWS Marketplace, where customers can go, discover these capabilities, and then launch them and be in production in minutes. As well as customers who use some of our specialized cloud capabilities, like the AWS GovCloud, or our AWS classified regions. We recently launched a new track exclusively for software partners called the AWS Think Big for Small Business program. And that provides additional assistance to our software partners who fall under the small business designation or who are owned or operated or controlled by underrepresented groups. This accelerates the way that they have access to AWS resources and helps them maximize growth so that their customers can find them, choose them, and continue to benefit from a very diverse community of trusted partners on AWS. One of the many reasons that customers do choose AWS is they can take advantage of our global infrastructure. We currently operate 26 cloud computing regions. These are made up of clusters of data centers designed for high availability and high resilience using what we call availability zones, over 84 of them operating for you today. And again, we're not stopping there. We've announced additional plans for 8 more regions around the world, adding 24 more availability zones. All of this to provide you with the most robust, exceptionally reliable, and highly available services for your enterprise. We've also started expanding the cloud to even more locations using what we call local zones. These local zones extend the cloud into 16 different further metropolitan cities in the US, and around the world announced plans to launch 32 new local zones in 26 countries in metropolitan areas. And all of that helps customers to run more of their work on the cloud. By getting local zones, they can take advantage of single-digit millisecond latency that provides all of the benefits of having an AWS compute region, except you don't have to operate any of your own data center infrastructure locally. So what does this mean for our customers? Quite simply, it means that you have more flexibility, greater freedom to choose where and when you want to implement your cloud services with AWS than any other choice. It's cost-effective, it's efficient, and it better meets your needs. And remember, our global infrastructure is built on a foundation of AWS security. AWS automatically encrypts all of our global and regional network traffic between our own secured facilities. Looking ahead, as we move into the next normal, it'll be critical for our organizations to be able to continue to adapt and be able to meet the new needs of students, of citizens, patients, and end customers. COVID accelerated this digital transformation across all of these institutions and across business. Customers tell us by 3 to 5 years. It was that sense of urgency that just drove us to innovate. The ways that we now work and learn and interact with our communities have changed, I believe, in ways that are going to be powerfully better for us, but so have the expectations of these citizens, students, and end customers. So let's talk about citizen services. Governments rapidly innovated to maintain support in these times of critical need, and citizens now expect that same world-class technology that they get when they log on to Netflix or when they go shopping online. And this is the exciting part. So to hear more on this, let's bring on our first customer speaker who's going to share how her organization moved quickly with the cloud to support a White House COVID-19 pandemic response initiative that was delivered more than 350 million free COVID tests to households across the US. Alexa, can you help me welcome our next guest?
Please welcome to the stage, Pritha Mehra, Chief Information Officer and Executive Vice President, U.S. Postal Service.
Let's hear it. Hey, Pritha, thank you.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Before I start, I have a very critical question. How many of you have ordered your test kits online from the Postal Service? Come on, raise your hands. How many of you loved the experience? If you didn't love it, you can leave right now. Okay, so I'm here. Well, thank you, Max, and thank you to the AWS team for inviting me here to speak about our story. And this is the story of how the United States Postal Service geared up to meet a very pressing challenge, right? An initiative that was unprecedented in scale, size, scope, technology, you name it. So around Christmas last year, our Postmaster General, Louis DeJoy, he received a phone call from the White House asking him if we could deliver 500 million test kits by mid-January, right? That was 3 weeks away, right? 21 days. So we're very proud of what happened next in the Postal Service. We're all gloating and gleaming, and rightfully so. And so let's let this video unroll to show you what transpired. Can we have the video, please?
The mission? Deliver 500 million COVID test kits to households across the nation. The timeline? 3 weeks. What happened next was amazing. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy
Can you work it locally? We'd have to look at the magnitude of this.
quickly established a leadership task force and gave clear direction and goals. A quick, simple, and user-friendly online experience was created to handle 20 million orders per hour. A dynamic inventory turnover operation was created, receiving 500 million test kits from the Department of Health and Human Services to 6 USPS surface transfer centers. Here, pallets of cartons containing kits were sent to 49 regional fulfillment centers. At peak, 18.3 million test kits were received a day.
And we dispatched these to fulfillment centers in 4 hours.
At the 49 fulfillment centers, kitting operations were established, and employees were trained to execute a standardized end-to-end kitting and labeling operation. Finally, the USPS network expedited next-day and 2-day delivery of over 360 million test kits, fulfilling more than 90 million orders through 2 phases of the operation. Taking on the challenge, Postal Service leadership and employees rose to the occasion. And we're still delivering.
Thank you. So, thank you. So, as you can see in that video, Mr. DeJoy does not shy away from a mission, especially a mission this critical. And as you saw in the video, he immediately convened his leadership team. And as I go through my story, I'm going to kind of tell you some of the lessons that I took away from this initiative. The first one being the age-old leadership lesson, right? Engage your SMEs or your leadership early and often. And Lewis did that really well, right? So then, as the video showed you, we set up 6 surface transfer centers. And to these centers, we were receiving the pallets, millions and millions of pallets of COVID test kits. These pallets were then turned around, and they were sent to one of our 49 fulfillment centers across the country, where they were kitted, so 4 test kits to an envelope, bubble-wrapped, label applied, shipped, released to the mail stream for delivery in 1 to 2 days, right? And here's my leadership lesson number 2, go to Gemba. This is a Lean Six Sigma principle, which reminds us to design our processes alongside the people that are doing the work. So we did pilot this process. We tested it with our folks on the ground. And that's why we were able to train over 2,000 employees in a week. OK, so now I'm going to kind of step aside and talk to you about the technology side of this. I'm the CIO, and my team, we developed all the systems that were impacted, right? So whether it was the ordering system, the fulfillment system, the customer care system, the visibility, the tracking systems, you name it. So of course, this was a very exciting initiative. We've never done anything like this before, but it was very daunting. And that's a true nightmare that I did have, right? CIO delays COVID test kit distribution because website is down, right? That's all we talked about in the CIO team was how do we keep this website up, right? So what did we do? We had to stand up a website. We didn't know how many orders an hour. We didn't know how many orders concurrently. We were asked to plan for about 1 million an hour. And we sat down with our team and said, COVID test kits are in high demand, right? They're not readily available. Is 1 million an hour enough? No. So we went to 5 to 10, and we established a goal of 20 million test kits an hour. So that was the challenge we worked against. Now, I'm in a room full of cloud people, and you know that achieving that goal is no small task, right? So we went to task on it. So what we did was we first looked at our own postal store, which is our storefront for which you can order stamps and shipping supplies. And we geared it up. We just kept throwing servers at it, hundreds of servers. I'm not kidding you, 400, 900 servers at this test site. And then we started testing really early in the game. Like on day 7, we were testing, right? Now, that's one of the things we did really well. So here's my lesson number 3, and this is one of our little new coined DevSecOps principles, shift left to test right. So we were testing critical components even before the website was ready, banging at it, millions, using JMeter and saying, let's try this out. And we came to 1 million an hour on our on-prem site and said, too risky. So what did we do next? We then designed an application on cloud. And we decided to go to 2 cloud platforms. Yeah, I know Amazon has 26 regions, so why two? We were just very nervous. So Amazon was one of the solutions, and then we picked another provider. And so, of course, redundancy rocks, guys, and finally we were able to sleep in my CIO group, right? So, so what were we going to do, right? So we had to, I just want to give you a word about how our orders came in. So you go into the website, you enter your name and your address. We check your address to make sure it's valid. We check your name to make sure that you haven't ordered more than you're allowed to. And then we send your order off to our inventory management system, and we send you a confirmation email saying your order is good to go. So now I'm going to sort of shift gears and explain to you how we actually designed this system, right? So we developed a 2-click ordering website, and we use static pages to take advantage of AWS CloudFront service to cache the site across the AWS Edge network, right? So we kind of kept this, we tried to keep it really simple, right? We integrated the order API through the AWS API gateway. And for performance reasons, we limited our real-time synchronous process to only 2 things. Velocity check, make sure that this dude hasn't ordered before, and validate the address, make sure this is a valid address. And so that's what kept it really simple. Everything else was done asynchronously. We used Kafka to decouple the remainder of the work from the real-time API. This included persisting the order for reporting purposes, forwarding the order downstream to our fulfillment applications, and generating the confirmation emails. And for that, we used the AWS Simple Email service. And all of these components were scaled out in containers running in OpenShift on EC2. And given that this was a very important mission, security was also very critical. So we used multiple of the AWS native services to protect the site and the APIs. Web application firewall was the one we spent the most time on tweaking all our security rule sets. So what did this do for us? At peak, we accepted 10 million orders an hour. 54 million in the first 2 days. Come on, give me a hand. Come on, guys. We have delivered over 380 million test kits, and although the video says 90, I believe we're now at 100 million orders. How's that for a success story? Yeah? So I want to end by telling you that this huge, ubiquitous infrastructure that the Postal Service has is one that we are now using for 2 services that I'm not sure a lot of people know about. One's called USPS Connect, and there's a deferred delivery segment of it, right? With USPS Connect, shippers can enter their packages at a local post office or at regional facilities to reach customers within their community, regionally, or national with same-day and next-day services. With the deferred delivery option, you can stage your inventory of prepared SKUs in our facilities, and we can label and ship for you, just as we did with COVID. So, which takes me to the last lesson. You can count on us, the US Postal Service, can leverage our infrastructure, just like we did for COVID, in 3 weeks to provide same-day and next-day service for any business, any organization across the nation. Thank you all. I do want to remind you that the 3rd round of COVID test kit ordering is on. And with this 3rd round, you now get 8 test kits, right? So if you're worried in being in large crowds, go ahead and order it. You can do it online. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was just phenomenal. I have to tell you, my family were some of the people out there looking for the COVID test kits. And when the site came online, they said, "Dad, this was so easy. It was simple. It was quick." And behind the scenes, I said, oh, yeah, it always works like
Oh,
that,
we
but
had-
we have a
we-
world-class team that's taking care of it.
We had a lot of kids and friends trying to game the system, and I told them, no, sir, that's not going to happen. It was very tight.
You did an awesome job. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
That was a great story. I hope maybe you all benefited from that as well. Another example of the pioneering innovation about how the cloud was used addresses some of the supply chain issues. Did anybody care about supply chains a little while ago? No, probably not. It just happened in the background, but that's not the case anymore. It's been exacerbated by the effects of the pandemic. Handling over $200 billion worth of cargo every year, the Port of Long Beach is one of the world's busiest seaports and the second busiest port in the United States. By leveraging AWS, the port was able to launch their supply chain information highway to provide a central system that hosts all of the cargo data. And this provides secure end-to-end visibility for the thousands of customers and all of the stakeholders who interact with the supply chain every day, ranging from ocean carriers to trucking companies. And it's literally been able to change the way and make it more efficient in the way that they're able to move and track goods. To help enrich the lives of citizens, more and more state and local governments now rely on and they trust the cloud to keep their mission-critical systems running. Today, 6 US states support more than 20 million residents with eligibility systems that run on AWS. And that means that nearly 20 million people are able to be getting faster, better access to health, nutrition, and financial assistance that they need when they need it. It also means that state employees are spending less time on manual efforts and more time supporting the people that they serve. We also work with our customers to address an array of sophisticated threats that are designed to undermine system integrity and public trust. In Latin America, we've helped power more than 10 elections to date that have benefited more than 150 million citizens across the region. With AWS, the elections administrators are able and empowered to focus on the process and the core needs of the electorate, and they ensure that these elections remain safe, fair, secure, and transparent, instead of having to worry about building and maintaining the underlying IT infrastructure. To help our customers continue to modernize faster, we recently announced a new AWS mainframe modernization service, which will be generally available soon in select regions. This service will speed up the migration of mainframe workloads and legacy applications so that you can get them to the cloud and that you can provide an end-to-end set of tools that support this full migration process, no matter if you're trying to refactor your mainframe workload or if you're trying to keep your applications as written and simply re-platform for speed, security, and lower cost on AWS. Equally important to our customers who are blazing new trails is being able to put broad-based policies into place to support faster cloud adoption. This is where leadership is really important. These better support policies, these better frameworks, enable and encourage customers to be able to move faster. It's important to remove those blockers. Let's look at two examples. In Canada, the province of Quebec is driving its digital transformation through a legislated mandate to migrate 100%, or all of their 304 public sector organizations, to the cloud by 2025. One way you drive leadership is set aggressive tops-down goals and then help your organization achieve them. In another example, in Colombia, the government recently shared its circular letter that instructs government entities to use the cloud instead of their on-premise data centers to reduce the risk of cybersecurity attacks. They made a studied effort, they took a look at what was necessary, and they concluded that this was the best instruction to help improve the security of their national infrastructure. And as more organizations shift to hybrid environments, keeping that focus on security has become even more critical to keep your systems up and running and keep your data protected. Being resilient, maintaining continuity so that students can learn and citizens can access key services and employees can work remotely and individuals can get the best health care is simply vital. It's table stakes now. Having the right technology can help you mitigate incidents and guard against potential attacks. Customers who choose AWS get to take advantage of over 230 security, compliance, and governance services and features. And they always retain ownership and they always retain control. Control of your data, including where it's stored, how it's stored, and who you choose to grant access to it. We offer programs and certifications and resources to help you achieve these levels of security, even for your most sensitive workloads. Our security and compliance teams work with government accreditation and authorization bodies all around the world. In the US, we work closely with the FedRAMP Joint Authorization Board, known as the JAB, to validate the security of AWS and partner services that run on AWS. Today, we're pleased to be able to announce the Landing Zone Accelerator on AWS, a new open source solution that integrates with AWS Control Tower. What this does is it helps you to automate and orchestrate all the foundational AWS services and accelerate your ability to be compliant in highly regulated environments. The Landing Zone Accelerator on AWS speeds up this implementation of both technical security controls and infrastructure foundation controls on AWS. And that's what gives you an accelerated path to achieve authority to operate through these different frameworks like FedRAMP or CMMC, or in Canada, PBMM and HIPAA for healthcare. The bottom line is we believe the AWS Landing Zone Accelerator is going to help all of our customers deploy to the cloud more quickly and more securely and in all AWS regions around the world. I'm also happy to announce that we're making available today the DoD Cloud Infrastructure as Code for AWS to help defense mission owners be able to build out secure and scalable cloud environments. This provides a collection of templates that gives you a flexible and cost-effective way to adopt cloud capabilities that's already received a 3-year ATO with conditions, but that further relieves you from the burden of having to secure your cloud environment and having to make sure that you're doing all the heavy lifting on compliance work. Our national security and defense customers entrust us with critical operations, and they continue to pave new paths for AWS. Adopting cloud computing is critical to maintaining the military's technological advantage, and our customers deserve the most innovative and secure solutions at the tactical edge, whether it's on land, in air, or in sea. The United States Army's 18th Airborne Corps worked with our AWS team to build and architect what is known as Dragon Cloud. This serves as a unified data fabric that exists outside of the range of enemies' conventional kinetic effects. Critically, it uses AWS Nitro to accelerate the workload processing and to reduce costs. This exclusive lets Dragon Cloud deliver a dramatic departure from traditional ways of running mission command applications at the edge and in tactical warfighting environments. And it's also paved the way for the future Army soldiers to be able to learn the cloud skills right there within their own formations. Our aerospace and satellite customers are also leveraging the cloud to pioneer new capabilities that are helping defense customers make global data and imagery more easily and readily available so that they can get faster decision making. Maxar Technologies' high-resolution, unclassified imagery has allowed many customers, including the US government and international allies, to have accurate, up-to-date views of conditions on the ground. And cloud-based dissemination through Maxar's Secure Watch program and similar US government programs takes multiple sources of optical imagery, radar data, all of this, makes it accessible in a combined format to mission partners across the community. Maxar also produces commercial satellite imagery that is shared much more broadly, which all of us have probably seen as we've watched the news. This helps provide global transparency and combat the spread of disinformation. Now, it's time for our second customer. So let's turn it over to the next speaker who's going to share more about his organization and how they're using AWS to provide insights and visualizations to customers who are under compressed timelines at the edge of connectivity, helping them make mission-critical decisions at the speed of relevancy. Alexa, can you please help welcome my next guest speaker?
Please welcome to the stage, Quentin Donnellan, President of Space and Defense, Hypergiant.
Thank you. Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to tell you a little story today. You may remember, but just 1 month ago, the US Capitol building was evacuated. The details of the event are concerning, but here we are, 21 years after 9/11, and we, the tech community, have still failed to equip the FAA, local law enforcement, and Homeland Air Defense with the right tools to do their jobs. For those of you who maybe don't know the details of the story, let me walk you through it. It was April 20th, 2022, 6:30 p.m., again, just 1 month ago. A 2-engine aircraft carrying the Army Golden Knights parachute team was circling overhead, preparing to drop them into Nationals Park for the pregame festivities of a Major League Baseball game. Mind you, this is a United States Army plane. It has just taken off from Joint Base Andrews. It's following a pre-approved flight plan, and it's just received clearance from National Airport to proceed. The Capitol Police, who work tirelessly day in and day out to keep the Capitol safe, look up and see an aircraft circling. Somewhere, someone made the call to evacuate the building. Why? The information was there, but it was siloed. Authorities couldn't contextualize fast enough to make the right decision. Now, some people had the right information. NORAD didn't scramble jets. But not everyone who needed the right tools had the right tools. We are Hypergiant. We build those tools. We take that siloed data and contextualize it so that the right decisions can be made at the speed of relevancy. Everyone here is already familiar with apps that do something like this. You have in your pocket what we call a common operating picture. Maps applications help you to get to where you need to go, synthesizing a ton of data, but delivering you only what you need, where you need it, and when you need it. Behind the scenes, there's a ton of data. There's AI. There's machine learning, sure, but you don't care about any of that. All you care about are the directions. Hypergiant builds similar applications for the US military and public sector. Now, this is a very hard problem, and it requires massive amounts of data to solve. It requires AI, sure, but AI is a means, it is not an end. The point is that you need to contextualize information fast enough to make decisions. Of course, the only place you can fully implement this is on the cloud, on AWS. Solutions to problems like this can only be solved if they leverage the massive compute, data collection, and cross-mission connectivity of AWS. Let me walk you through exactly how we're doing this for NORAD. Now, NORAD is responsible for monitoring the skies, keeping track of hostile activity. They're, of course, the ones who would shoot down that Army plane if they thought it was an actual threat. Historically, air defense operators are sitting behind 7 to 10 screens, looking at everything from publicly available data, weather data, military radar, FAA flight plans, public flight tracks, military flight tracks, and so forth. Ingesting, contextualizing, and synthesizing decisions in this environment is incredibly challenging. It can take over 20 minutes for an operator to fully understand the situation. But of course, they only have seconds to respond. Sometimes we scramble jets to intercept flocks of birds. Why? Because in those precious few seconds, out of an abundance of caution, you cannot afford to miss anything. However, and as you are probably aware, we are seeing an alarming increase in airspace incursions by Russia. Now, scrambling jets to intercept birds out of abundance of caution may soon come at the expense of missing something else, something important. Again, this is not a data problem. We have the data. This is not an AI problem. We definitely have the algorithm that can tell the difference between a bird and a plane. This is a time to context and time to decision problem. That's where we come in. What we've done is replace those 7 to 10 screens with one single screen. We've fused data and AI to present only the information that a given operator needs at the time they need it. We've also fused AI algorithms that present suggested courses of action, so operators are only one click away from making a decision, and they are fully aware of the risks and projected outcomes of that decision. We reduce time it takes to make decisions from 20 minutes to 20 seconds. We're equipping NORAD with the right tools. Remember, NORAD knew about the Golden Knights. Wouldn't it be great if everyone had those same tools? Again, this is only possible through the enablement of AWS. This is only possible if you have access to all your sensors, all your data, and the compute power to synthesize intelligent insights. By the way, AWS has figured out a way to extend cloud-based capabilities to the tactical edge, which allows us to operate even when our persistent connection is disrupted. Hypergiant is building common operating picture applications for the military and public sector customers. However, our customers need these applications to work everywhere they go, not just in areas of dense cellular coverage. They need these to work seamlessly and flawlessly at the edge. Take a look at that gray box. That is an AWS Snowball. That is a cloud-native, high compute, high storage, mailable, droppable box of awesome. We can do North American air defense on that. Snowball enables this 20-minute to 20-second decision process, even when access to the cloud is denied. Operators who are sitting right next to their most important sensors can still make informed decisions even if they can't talk to the cloud. We are working with the US Army to demonstrate how a Snowball can be shipped to a battlefield on the other side of the world, bringing with it cloud-native common operating pictures for robotic combat vehicles, which will equip vehicle operators to make split-second decisions related to vehicle health and long-term supply chain decisions, even when network access to the cloud is degraded, contested, or completely denied. We have also commercialized it. The same technology that dramatically increases the effectiveness of North American air defense is actually available on AWS Commercial Cloud right now. Fundamentally, what we're doing is taking streams of siloed data, integrating them with AI, and fusing that into a coherent picture for you to make decisions. It doesn't matter what the data streams are, classified, unclassified, publicly available, or behind restricted walls. We simply integrate them into a coherent picture. That means that our common operating pictures are available for military and non-military, public and private teams alike. Last year, back home in Texas, we had a little issue with our power grid. You may have heard about it. Authorities had the data, the algorithms, the networks, they had all the screens, but something still went wrong. Why? The data was siloed, and we lacked the application that contextualized the data and the AI to make the right decisions. We're also building that application right now on AWS. Using the same technology we're delivering to NORAD, we are equipping independent systems operators responsible for managing our electric grids to make the right decisions at their speed of relevancy. We're also making it available on Snowball Why? Because the tactical edge doesn't only exist on a battlefield on the other side of the world. Sometimes, when a hurricane strikes, when power goes out, the tactical edge comes to you. 20-minute decisions in 20 seconds. That's what we do. Now, I invite all of you to come join me at a breakout session later today where I'll be diving into this in more detail. But right now, I will leave you with this. I want you to close your eyes and imagine a world where we don't evacuate the Capitol because of Military Appreciation Day at Nationals Park. Imagine a world where we don't scramble fighters to intercept geese, but we still never miss a Russian incursion. Imagine a world where your 20-minute decisions can be made in 20 seconds. Now open your eyes. You don't have to imagine. Hypergiant and AWS are delivering that world today. Thank you.
Hey, Quentin, thank you so much. I can't wait to tell Bill Vaz, who leads our group that provides the snow boxes, that we're going to name them something new. What did you call it? The Cloud Box of Awesome?
The Cloud Box of Awesome. There you go.
The Cloud Box of Awesome.
Copyright Hypergiant 2022. There you go.
Thank you so
Max.
much. Appreciate all the work you guys are doing. AWS is committed to supporting our government and our commercial customers all around the world to achieve their goals in space. I hope you enjoyed that story. In recent months, AWS has signed strategic agreements with space organizations in Brazil, in Singapore, and Greece to help foster the regional space economy. These agreements focus on supporting the legacy institutions, research and development, while also providing the training and the resources to help support the emerging space businesses and startups, as well as, importantly, growing the technical capability of the workforce of tomorrow. We're working with our customers to continue to push the limits to reimagine what's possible in space. Orbital Reef is being developed by Blue Origin and Sierra Space as the next generation space station, which will provide commercial and research activities in low Earth orbit and support things like space tourism. I'm ready to go. On-orbit communications and logistics require cutting-edge cloud solutions, and AWS technology will provide the speed and the agility to support humans that will live and work in space. Increasing accessibility to the space industry is important for ongoing innovation. We launched our second AWS Space Accelerator program earlier in March of this year, and we got a strong global response. We received hundreds of applications from around the world, and today I'm happy and excited to announce that in coordination with our delivery partner, Alchemist X, we've selected these 10 participants for the program, which will kick off in just 2 weeks. These bold startups represent an inspiring set of mission areas, from being able to view the ocean floor to being able to work on the surface of the moon and everything in between. We look forward to being able to collaborate with these organizations, enhance their missions, and just see where they will take innovation in space. The cloud is also helping scientists to pioneer new advancements in research and to accelerate the time to science through global collaboration, contributing to breakthroughs in areas from climate change to food safety to drug discovery and to healthcare. One of the examples is how the University of British Columbia's Cloud Innovation Center, or CIC, collaborated with researchers as part of the Cerritos project, and they identified 9 new coronaviruses in just 11 days using the cloud. They built a supercomputer on AWS that searched nearly 6 million publicly available biological samples that represented more than 10 petabases of data in less than 2 weeks. This is changing how bioinformatics can be done, and it'll serve to improve the diagnostic testing, the vaccine development, and it could just provide the keys that we need to help prevent the next pandemic. Our CICs are focused on helping public sector organizations collaborate, test new ideas, access AWS technology and expertise, all to solve real-world problems. We currently have a total of 13 CIC programs around the world, and in 2022 alone, they've logged more than 58 engagements, ranging from crop enhancement studies to crop production to preventing drug overdoses. If you're interested in learning more about how these efforts work, make sure you pick up a 2022 AWS Public Sector Innovation Guide at the CIC kiosk here today. They're doing amazing things, and they leverage the power of students and universities from around the world. Another way that we're helping organizations improve health outcomes is through AWS for Health. This was first introduced in July of 2021 as a set of curated AWS services and AWS partner network solutions that are used by thousands of healthcare and life sciences companies around the world, helping our customers to accelerate their digital transformation with proven and easy and accessible capabilities. As part of AWS for Health, we've also launched our AWS Health Equity Initiative program in September of last year at our summit, where we committed to address the needs, along with all of our customers, of advancing health equity globally and addressing health disparities. We committed $40 million over 3 years in AWS cloud credits and technical assistance to help with this. We've already seen some incredible developments that are being led by participants ranging from Vodafone Foundation and Touch Foundation's M-Mama program that's operating in rural areas in Africa to help connect pregnant women to emergency care. And we've also seen the Arizona State University use AWS to bridge the data silos that exist and be able to gain a holistic view of homelessness in the state so that they can then take action. There's quite a theme here in terms of data, getting it together, and then bridging to take action. To build on these efforts, we're also proud to announce that we're launching our next AWS Healthcare Accelerator. It's a program with a focus on improving health outcomes for the underserved. Now in its second year, this accelerator is going to support 10 further startups with a 4-week technical, business, and mentorship program. And this helps to drive that connection between healthcare leaders and startups, providing them with the type of support that they need to take their concepts, their ideas, from that phase to the next using the power of the cloud. And I'm excited to say applications are now open, and we'll be processing them through July 1st. So we encourage everyone to apply and come think big with us about the opportunity to solve problems with health equity. Now, modernizing electronic health records, or EHRs, with the cloud is also helping to improve health outcomes by improving efficiency, enhancing the clinician experience, and by providing insights and tools needed, all in a secure environment that helps ensure patient privacy. I'm excited now to turn it over to our third speaker, who's going to share how his organization launched its digital healthcare environment and implemented the first Epic on AWS EHR production system, which now supports more than 2,400 physicians and over 4 million patients across the eastern Massachusetts area. And for those of you who attended our summit in September, you heard from this speaker, and you may recall a fireside chat that we had where he was talking about the strategy and the plans and how he was going to implement and execute. I'm really excited because today we get to welcome him back, and so we can hear how did that really work. But I tell you what, I'm going to turn it over to Alexa because I know she's got a voice. Alexa, would you please help me welcome our next guest speaker to the stage?
Please welcome to the stage Dr. Shafiq Rob, Chief Digital Officer, System CIO, and Executive Vice President, Tufts Medicine.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all happy today. The weather in DC has become better for the last 2 days. Thank you, Max, for the opportunity to return to the DC Summit. I'm here today to share that we delivered on promises we made last year to our care teams and our community. We are now the world's first health system to implement Epic electronic health record environment fully in the cloud, in the AWS cloud. But we did not stop there. We built an entire foundation that includes 42 additional integrated applications. That includes our most critical applications from Infor, 3M, Highland, Philips, GE. For our patients and consumers, we built a multilingual, omni-channel app that they can use to access care where and how they want it. Supporting this access, we also built chatbots and a contact center with AWS Connect. But before we go how we pulled this off in 14 months, I want to share a little bit about Tufts Medicine, where I work now. We are an integrated delivery network with more than 225 years of experience, over 16,000 caregivers, and 2,400 physicians deliver care at an academic medical center, 4 community hospitals, and the largest home health network in greater Boston area and the eastern Massachusetts. We are focused on improving the health of our community. In 14 months, we have implemented the foundation for an entire digital healthcare environment. Okay, so let me share how we did this. We started with the 4 core tenets. Number 1, enable frictionless patient and consumer care. Number 2, deliver a joyful provider experience. 3, ensure optimized operations, infrastructure, and cybersecurity. Establish a cloud center of excellence. To succeed with healthcare transformation in the cloud, we had to be mindful of all these elements. So what do you mean by frictionless care? Our goal was to remove the barriers for patients and consumers to access the healthcare they need, whenever they need it, however they need it. We are making it easier and simpler for patients and consumers to access care. Everything from registering, finding an available appointment, connecting for remote care, accessing results, and accessing social services. But on top of it, it's available today in English, in Spanish, and in Mandarin, because we serve those type of communities where those languages are spoken. In a single app, we have gone from 106 portals to a single app called My Tufts Med. Very shortly, with the assistance of AWS, we'll be adding 7 additional languages. What do we mean by joyful provider experience? The implementation had few bumps, maybe a little bit more than few bumps. But as a CIO, you're very used to dealing with complaints, trouble, tickets, etc., etc. Instead, our executives, our physicians, our nursing leaders are expressing their delight, because now physicians, caregivers are able to finally access not only the electronic health record, but all the information they need. Because of the architecture we designed with Epic and AWS, it's lightning fast. Believe me, sub-millisecond. Whether they access it from the hospital or the clinic or home. Let me also share what we meant by optimizing operations and infrastructure and cybersecurity. We did this project in 14 months. It's something that would have taken 3 years in traditional data center environment. My chief modernization officer, Jeremy Marut, who's sitting here, took what would have been a 6-month hardware procurement process and compressed the initial build to 4 weeks. 4 weeks, not 6 months. Now with the help of ProServe, we can spin up an environment in less than 6 minutes. I'll give one example. We needed to ingest document images for 4 million patients. We were told by the software vendor this would take 200 days. We spun up additional capacity, completed the job in 72 hours, then we spun it down. Wow. Security is critical. As part of this implementation, we made sure everything was encrypted, both in motion and at rest. It's amazing how many legacy applications were not enabling these best practices. Finally, having a cloud center of excellence was critical. I'm sharing this so that others who venture on this may find this useful. We work closely with our partners, Epic, AWS, and others, to set up the Cloud Center of Excellence. It includes AWS, Epic, and other partner training and certification, architecture which has to be validated by Epic, AWS, and our team, a collaboratory where our partners are incentivized to modernize their application architect and cloud enable their support organization. I trained as a surgeon. In surgery, we talk about learning process of see one, do one, and teach one. We're applying these methodology for our IT professionals. ProServe helped us set up the environment. We asked managed services to monitor the environment for the first year. This gave our IT shop to build the expertise to build fully operate our cloud environment. Well, let me share what we plan to do in the next 12 months. We have built the foundation where we have built several elements of transformation and will be doing more. We have already started to rationalize our portfolio of 800 additional applications and migrate the consolidated portfolio to AWS. This will save us tens of millions of dollars a year. Second, we are going to enhance patient and provider experience. We'll add 7 more languages that are spoken in our community we serve. We want to ensure access for all our patients. We're going to introduce a virtual pharmacy, and finally, we'll provide 2,000 independent physicians work in our community if they want access to our EHR. We also have a large data lakehouse, and will now focus on predictive analytics, machine learning, AI to provide insight, predict, and prevent disease, and provide precision therapies to patients. Finally, we'll take on another challenge, medical imaging. We have 3 PACS systems today, and we'll start the process of moving our medical images, radiology, cardiology, oncology, pathology, and dermatology into a single system, and we'll use ML and AI to help us. Our goal at Tufts Medicine is not only to redefine healthcare, but to reinvent it, reinvent the way it is delivered. I want to thank AWS for the partnership and for allowing me to share our digital transformation journey at Tufts Medicine. Back to you, Max.
Thank you, Dr. Rob. Thank you very much. Congratulations, by the way. The pioneering efforts of you, your team, and Tufts Medicine are just awesome. I can't wait for all of that capability in my pocket right here. So thanks once again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
What a great opportunity to share that. If Dr. Rob and Tufts Medicine keeps going like that, we'll have to have him back for a 3rd time. I don't know. It's never happened before, but it's actually possible with him. Let me also talk about Geisinger Health System that also recently announced that it will be transitioning its entire digital portfolio of more than 400 applications and numerous workflows to AWS. This is going to allow them to drive new digital advancements that enhance the quality of patient care and improve workflow efficiencies so that staff can stay more focused on what matters, and that's delivering on their mission to make better health easier. As organizations continue to transform, the ways that employees get trained keep on evolving. To support eHealth New South Wales data efforts, to migrate these clinical applications to AWS and to build their data lake, they stood up a 9-pillar digital academy that includes a mature cloud skills stream. eHealth New South Wales aims to train the majority of their whole workforce, over 2,000 employees, through this AWS-sponsored Cloud Academy by 2023 so that they've equipped their staff with the technical skills that they need to better manage their digital infrastructure and to drive ongoing innovation. In education, our customers are continuing to use data and AI ML to find new ways to enrich teaching and learning experiences, helping to meet the demands of the modern student and to drive better learning outcomes. The digital healthcare company Cognifit combines brain science with AI algorithms in the form of gamified tests to be able to assess and improve cognitive health. They use AWS Glue, Amazon SageMaker, Amazon QuickSight, and the team works with schools to explore brain functions in adolescence so that the assessments are used to measure cognitive abilities in relation to the academic skills. This allows educators to get personalized and actionable reports and has already helped over 24,000 students learn better. It's so inspiring to see how technology is used in game-changing ways to support education and to support better learning. And now I'd like to give a shout out to a special group of students who are joining us here today from universities and colleges across DC, Maryland and Virginia, who they're pursuing not only their cloud-related skills, but they're also participating in the AWS education program. Are you here? If you're here, please go ahead and stand up. Let's give them a round of applause for these students who are leading the way and pioneering the future cloud workforce. As we move forward, increasing cloud talent is critical for ongoing innovation, and that's why in 2020, we committed to providing 29 million people around the world with access to free cloud skilling computing. We're well on track to getting there. We set a goal of 2025. We've already helped 6 million individuals, and we're continuing to invest and scale up these programs so we can reach that 29 million person goal by 2025. So AWS launched 2 statewide skills, training, and education initiatives with Tennessee and Nevada in collaboration with Governor Bill Lee and Governor Steve Sisolak. Collectively, the goal is to train, upskill, and certify 7,500 Tennesseans and Nevadans with cloud skills by 2025. As you can tell, we're passionate about driving and using the power of the cloud to democratize knowledge and to try and ensure that all individuals, regardless of their background, their education, or social status, have the opportunity to build these technical skills. One of our initiatives, AWS Get IT, is focused on empowering young students, especially girls, to gain digital skills and to consider a career in technology. And as part of the program, students meet with women tech professionals from across Amazon and AWS, and they design apps that capture the ideas that they got about how they could bring change to their communities, helping to capture their imaginations and helping them to gain confidence so they continue to learn and perhaps pursue technical careers. Our AWS training programs are robust, and they include courses delivered in many different formats, from digital to self-paced to full-time intensive upskilling programs. AWS Educate offers hundreds of hours of training that's available for new cloud learners as young as 13, and AWS Skills Builder has over 500 free courses covering different AWS solutions at various skill levels. There's truly something for everybody here. From the very beginning, we've also remained focused on not only building an inclusive and diverse future, but a sustainable one as well. In 2019, Amazon co-founded the Climate Pledge, which is a commitment to be net carbon zero across our entire business by 2040, a full 10 years ahead of the Paris Accords. More than 300 businesses so far across 50 different industries and 29 countries have signed on to date. And if you're interested in doing that, we'd welcome you as well. To make it easier for our customers to calculate their direct carbon emission impact and to be able to take action to reduce that impact, we launched the AWS Customer Carbon Footprint tool earlier this year. It's a dashboard that provides you with estimates of the carbon emissions that customers have avoided by using AWS instead of on-prem data centers. And it even allows you to forecast how those numbers will change over time based upon your usage. It's our effort to allow you to do this directly. We're proud to empower customers who are pushing the limits with the cloud to find more ways to actually protect our planet and our people. The Nature Conservancy, or TNC, is a global environmental nonprofit that's leveraging AWS today to help shape more livable cities by addressing tree shade. Tree shade provides significant health benefits, ranging from lower levels of air pollution to improved mental health, which is not actually equally accessible to everyone. And so TNC is using AWS services to conduct research and to store and analyze the data, and then sharing these insights with legislators and policymakers and stakeholders, again, so they can use data to make actionable decisions on how to solve these problems. It's encouraging to be able to see these types of advancements as we collectively work. I bet I have some of the Sustainable Cities awardees in the audience here. This year we rolled out our Sustainable Cities Accelerator program, which will kick off in June. And we just finished the review of the submissions with Freshwater Advisors and with Public Spend Forum. And we're proud to have chosen these 12 participants. Go ahead and give yourself a round of applause again. And we're so excited to be able to look at what they might innovate on. Everything from AI traffic analysis to smart IoT lampposts. I'm sure it's going to be a great journey. While we continue to make progress, we still have more work to do. Observations indicate that changes in climate are contributing to an intense increase in extreme weather events and natural disasters. Our disaster response team is out there helping communities prepare for and recover from these types of events. And now they're using a customized Jeep that serves as a rolling lab. It packs in all the technology that you need to support emergency operations, including Wi-Fi connectivity and that box of cloud awesome called a snowball. This enables the team to be able to operate right there in the field, even in disconnected environments, to be able to map out these disasters and take action in response. By the way, it's right out here on the bridge over L Street. If you haven't stopped by and seen it, or maybe gotten a picture of yourself with it, it's a really cool thing. Be sure you check it out. So in closing, the many ways in which our customers are blazing trails and finding new and better ways to deliver on their missions is completely inspiring. These pioneering efforts and the digital transformations that they're accomplishing are contributing to a strong foundation that allows organizations to respond faster to the changing conditions and to ensure reliability as we forge ahead, and ultimately keeps on guiding the path to new ways of innovation. I'm convinced there are still so many opportunities out there that we've got a lot of work to do together. It's been great to have the opportunity to speak with you for a couple of minutes. I hope you enjoyed hearing from the customers who are using the cloud to break new boundaries and pioneer new activities. It's clear there's no slowing down right now, and so it's a privilege for all of us to be able to work alongside so many inventors, and I look forward to what we'll be able to accomplish as we continue to pave the new paths forward. So I want to send you off to enjoy the rest of the summit. Be sure to enjoy all the breakout sessions, take advantage of the interactive workshops, dive into these hands-on learning opportunities, and above all, make sure that you take the opportunity to network with all the people here at the summit today. Hope all of this information and this content helps you have a great rest of your day and a fulfilling opportunity to deliver on the mission of your customers' needs. Thank you all very much.